who's most electable? First, let's not forget, Tom Hayhurst is not an incumbent. The person most electable will be someone who presents the best plan for restoring America. Someone willing to stand up for the plight of hard-working frontline Americans. Our government spending is out of control. Our taxes are continuing to rise. We have lost too many American jobs by giving or chasing away manufacturing base. We're killing off small businesses through high taxes and unreasonable regulations. We are not energy independent, which leaves us at the mercy of our enemies. Our borders are not secure, creating a gateway for terrorists and allowing people to enter our lands undocumented. And finally, by choice, we are killing unborn children for the sake of convenience, while ignoring the possibility that those children might have been answered prayer, might have held a secret to cures for cancer, AIDS, and other life-threatening diseases. It's time to stop the insanity. Washington has lost touch with frontline Americans when we are the very backbone of this great nation. By electing me to represent the 3rd District, you will be giving this district a long-awaited voice, solid conservative voice, and a voice actually able to speak within the same workaday world defining most Hoosier lives. My 29 years with FedEx, 29 years with the Allen County Sheriff's Department, where I'm currently serving as Chief Deputy of the Reserve, and my 17 years at Cole and Foster Domestic Service has all given me a unique perspective on a wide range of issues facing the American way of life here in Indiana. For more information about my candidacy, please go to MikeFosterForCongress.com and you can gather all the information you need about my stance. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next one is Greg Dickman. Mr. Dickman, your closing comments, please.
Thanks to all you for being here this evening. I have lived in Auburn since my conception. That is my entire life. I consider myself to be a Reagan Republican. As a business owner, I know the struggles we have endured trying to comply with all the new laws and regulations coming from our government. We are in a self-perpetuating cycle of laws which is destroying our country. It must be stopped. Why am I running for office? Because I took a pledge. I pledged allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands. Our republic is in jeopardy, and I have new solutions that will allow us to end the corruption in the legislatures, to restore jobs and prosperity to our country, and regain control of laws for the people. Plus, if the Republican Party will join me to get the lawyers out of office by enforcing Article 1, Section 6, Paragraph 2 of the Constitution, we could also destroy the entire progressive liberal agenda practically overnight. I pledge to have one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If the officers in charge of dispensing justice are writing the laws to benefit themselves, we can have neither liberty nor justice. Last week I spoke to an attorney who is also a constitutional scholar that teaches constitutional law to lawyers. He listened to me, did some research, and could not refute what I told him. I feel it is my moral duty to try to honor my pledge. I hope you feel that way also. Please join me in saving our republic and restoring prosperity for our children and grandchildren.
And we go one to the right. Wes Culver, sir, your closing comments, if you would, please.
Thank you. The 520 precinct people have a very important decision to make. The American people want to move past words to action. They want leaders who provide answers and solutions. And so it's their responsibility to pick a candidate who will be electable in the fall. And I believe I can be that person and am that person. I've started over 12 businesses. This says two things. I know how to get things going, put teams together, but I also know how to live within our means. And we've talked about how government is not living within its means. I've experienced firsthand regulation and how they hurt businesses, and I would know what to go after, and its action would be and more than words. But my life isn't just for businesses. I'm also an innovator and solution-oriented. I've started a number of nonprofits and organizations, everything from helping people in adoption, international aid and relief, unwed mothers, alternatives to abortion, and some of these organizations have now gone national and help people throughout the country. These solutions also carry over to my public sector, where I come up with ideas in education that we have more AP classes, so when students graduate from high school, college costs less, which costs taxpayers less. We need to come up with those creative solutions. The Indiana 500 Tour, which is a new to draw tourism to Indiana, was an idea that I conceived. So pick a leader that will come with solutions, because we all are frustrated, America's frustrated, but we need to bring answers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And down next to him, Liz Brown. Ms. Brown, your closing comments, please.
I apologize. First, thank you all for coming tonight, and this has been a great opportunity. This is my first kind of forum. I apologize if you've already read this in the Wall Street Journal, but I think this exemplifies how Obama stimulates the economy. 2 years ago, they passed a bill in Congress that American Samoa, the tuna plants there, would have to increase their minimum wage. Consequently, in 2 years, they've lost 2,000 jobs, there are only 65,000 people there. I guesstimate that's a gross income of about $19.5 million. So just now they are contemplating passing a bill to give them stimulus money of $18 million to offset the lost wages. That's the kind of stimulus money spending that we need to stop, and that's what I would stop. Right now, Obama has a 55% disapproval rating. That's the worst ever for a first-year president. This is an opportunity for us, but this is not an opportunity that just any Republican candidate can take and win in November. Tom Hayhurst ran at a different time 4 years ago, but he almost won. So we need someone who's going to ask hard questions, but not just ask them and not just listen for the answers, but do something about it. I'll cut health care costs because that's not what the public wanted. They wanted, I'll cut the health care reform bill they passed because it didn't cut costs. I mean, they want better health care at the cost that they can afford, not what they have now. And also, I think that we need to make sure that going forward, we have someone who's pro-life and pro-defense, and so on.
Thank you. Our next one, with his closing comments, Marlon Stutzman. Mr. Stutzman, if you would, your closing comments, please.
Well, thank you, first of all, for being here tonight. This has been a great opportunity for all of us. Looking forward to the caucus on June the 12th. I want to just say 2002 was the first year that my wife, Chris, and I decided to run for the House of Representatives here in the state of Indiana. After 9/11, our son, Pete, was 3 weeks old, and we decided then that we needed to make a difference in our community, and so we decided to get involved in our local Republican Party. I'm a precinct committeeman and believe that it starts with the grassroots into making a difference for our country and for our state and for our local communities. I consider myself a full-spectrum conservative. I'm pro-life. I have a 100% voting record with Indiana Right to Life. I have an A+ rating with the NRA. I'm one of the founding members of the Indiana Senate Conservative Caucus, and also I believe that a fair tax would be just what we need in Washington to stop the corruption in the IRS and to stop the loopholes and ways of hiding money offshores, and also to fix our tax structure. I'm a strong supporter of our military. I believe that we need to have a strong military if we're going to have secure borders and to have a nation where we can raise our children and not be afraid of those attacking us from the outside. I believe that we are fighting with a struggle from within, and we have to look ourselves in the face today and say, who are we as Americans? I believe that this is so crucial, this election. I would ask for your support, I would ask for your vote. Thank you for coming out, and I look forward to the next couple of weeks.
And now the closing comments, please, from Randy Borer. Mr. Borer, if you would, please, your closing comments.
Again, thanks to all of you for attending, and thanks for being here at my school, IPFW. Today, the majority of Americans believe that the federal government has grown arrogant, power-hungry, and abusive of the rights of people. Washington, in fact, has lost its way. You know, the same thing could have been said about Indiana. About 16 years ago, we had 16 years of Democrat control, and we had lost our way also. But in 2004, the Republican Party in Indiana became the party of purpose. I was asked to be a general in the reinvention of Indiana, and I answered that call. I authored legislation like the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, which really defined the way we create jobs in this state and bring companies into the state of Indiana, not just business as usual. And I believe it's time for Washington to have some of that same reinvention. I serve on the House Ways and Means Committee and the State Budget Committee, served on by only 8 people of 150 in the General Assembly. I know firsthand myself about balancing budgets because that's what we do. I'm a free enterprise person. I served in the private sector all of my life. I've written paychecks. I understand how to balance the books in the private sector. And I know the difficulties employers are having from the red tape that's emanating down from Washington, D.C., and it's time that we all say, enough is enough.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that very much. And that concludes the closing comments. You may now show your